Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Haven't posted anything for a while. Ahead of hunting season, I just thought I'd post three of my favorite recipes. Three of my favorite jerky recipes. Super excited to eat this jerky and go hunting too. But let's check it out. So each one of these jerky recipes has about a quarter to an eighth cut thick of meat. This is venison, or you can use beef, very lean beef. But in order to have nice thin slices, what you do is you freeze the roast solid, and then you put it, after it's frozen solid, you put it in the refrigerator for a full day. And then it's halfway frozen, and then that lets you just slice it really thin. Okay, so I got three different batches. The middle batch is kind of the traditional jerky, oven jerky I grew up having. This is more just the traditional jerky for 1 pound of meat. A half cup soy sauce, about tablespoon and a half of Worcestershire, then ground pepper, onion, paprika, garlic powder, ground ginger. Just add that to taste. Put it in there. I don't add any sugar. This is more of a savory recipe. So you just put it in here. I'm gonna marinate it. I'm gonna let that sit in the fridge for about 8 hours. Okay, so this next recipe is my new favorite. I posted another video on my channel making thick cut jerky recipe, trying to make thick cut jerky recipe, and I made this batch. If you want to go to that video, it's basically that recipe but with less oil, but I'll show you the basics of it. But this is the marinade for this meat. This is amazing stuff. I love this so much. So here's the base of this recipe. So distilled white vinegar, half cup, quarter cup olive oil, and then I put about 7 peaches in here. That's what that makes it thick. That's the base. So then you add liquid smoke and a tablespoon and a half of the quick tender, and then a variety of spices according to your taste. I like the freshly ground pepper in here, thick pepper. So add all this stuff, and then add rosemary, a little bit of rosemary. You can see the rosemary in there. That gives it a real good taste. Half tablespoon of yeast. I'm gonna put it in here. I'm gonna let this sit for 24 hours. Put it in the smoker or the dehydrator. I'm gonna use the dehydrator here. The peaches, the white vinegar, and the quick tender will tenderize the meat. Just let it sit in there real good. So the third recipe is really simple. Basically, you start out with these really red cuts of meat, you lay it on the counter, and then you put this quick tender on it, and that'll cure the meat. And then it'll make it turn a brown color, which is what it is currently now. So put it on the counter, put a generous amount of that on there, like I think it calls for a tablespoon per pound of meat, but you add it on there and then it turns brown like this. And then I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to add another layer of that quick tender on this. This is sodium nitrate, and it's going to cure the meat. And then after I add this second layer of a quick tender on top of this, after I flip this, basically, so you've got your cure, and then afterwards you can add any sort of marinade you want, any meat marinade. But this one's just going to be sweet honey barbecue sauce. I'm going to add it, and that'll flavor this. But you can try Mongolian barbecue, teriyaki sauce, however you want to do this. Yeah, I like the Mongolian barbecue sauce, but I don't have any of that right now. I also want to try Mo Better's teriyaki sauce that makes amazing teriyaki chicken. But this has been sitting for about an hour, and it's starting to look like this on the counter. Maybe 45 minutes, but it was halfway frozen when I put it on the counter. Okay, so for the traditional soy sauce Worcestershire sauce based recipe, the traditional, instead of having it sit for 8 hours, and it was just going to get way too salty, I could tell. So I'm just let it sit for about an hour and put it on the jerky maker. This thing is awesome. You could also put it in your smoker, but I have a hard time controlling the temperature in my smoker, and I've ruined a lot of batches of jerky. So basically I'm just gonna put it in this. Just turn it up to the highest setting. Optionally, you can put smoke in here, put some wood, and then on my other batches I'm gonna stick wood in there, and then it lets smoke come out the top. Smoke enters here and it will just go through this food dehydrator, and so I'll get a lot of good smoke flavoring on my other batch of jerky. I'm just gonna do this one right now, and then when I do the main batch with those other two batches, I'm gonna put the smoke on. But this one's just gonna be traditional without I've got liquid smoke in there, I think, but I don't want to fire up the smoker quite yet. But that's how I add smoke when using the Nesco food dehydrator or jerky maker. This thing's awesome. I'll put an Amazon link to this in the description. Okay, this peach recipe, it also has brown sugar. I think I forgot to mention that. And I had a lot of marinade, so I added a bunch of tenderloin to this as well. So we're gonna put this in a bag. This one, I have thick cuts of meat. So I'm gonna actually let this marinate for at least 24 hours. You could do it for 3 days if you wanted with this peach recipe. Then this one, I flipped it over, and I'm gonna add this to the bag, and I'm gonna add a good generous amount of my marinade. And feel free to add a lot of this. You want it dripping. I think I found that it's better if you add your teriyaki Mongolian barbecue sauce, just have it dripping really thick, and then put it really thick on your trays, and then dry it, and all that flavor just goes right into this. Okay, going in the fridge for at least 1 day. The initial batch is done. I'm gonna leave these really thick ones on. I'm gonna take the small ones off. Okay guys, when the other two batches are done, we are going to have a taste test, see which ones you like the best, okay? Okay?
Okay.
It's kind of hard to take off. I should have remembered to spray this with some oil. Okay, I've got my second batch on. I'll show you this. This is pretty much all of it. And I got my smoker on now, and I've had to raise this up a little bit so the bottom of this doesn't get too hot from the smoker, but it still gets the smoke. So this just sucks the smoke right in. See that? Just going right into the meat. So I've got all the temperature control of this Nesco, which is really good at making sure you don't burn part of your jerky. I should have nice smoke flavor as well, so best of both worlds. So do a taste test with the kids after it's all done, see how they like it. Okay, we are all done with the jerky. Now we're gonna do our taste test. Okay, this is the first one. We got this type. We got this type. And we've got this type. That one looks the best. This is the type I grew up eating. Here is this type. Okay, Sam, you ready, bud?
Alright, I'm over
okay.
with jokes.
Okay.
I'm eating it.
You ready? Okay, hold on. Okay, here we go. Okay, here's the first type. Okay, try that. Hey, I gotta see your face. Okay, you gotta tell me which one's your favorite. On a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being yucky, 10 being super yummy, what do you think that one is? Number from 1 to 10, like a 5, a middle, 10, super good, or
2.
2? How come you want to eat? Do you want to eat more of it? You don't like that one at all?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. These are honest opinions. Okay. Okay, you gotta be honest, okay? Okay. Okay. Here's the second one. Okay, bud. Remember, if you're not honest or you don't like it, I'm not gonna give you any more. But be honest. If you don't like this one, tell me. What do you think of that one? Is that one kind of...
It's like 3-ish, 5-ish.
Okay, so the first one is 2, and this one's better. This one tastes better?
Just a teensy bit.
3 or 5? Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, take a drink, and we're gonna give you the last one to try. I got a 2, and then I got a 3 or a 5.
Actually, that one I just tasted was like a 6.
That was a 6?
7.
Really? Okay. First one was a 2? You sure? But that one was like a 6 or a 7. Okay, here's the last one. Okay. Don't keep chewing it. Don't give a score right away.
It's not chewy.
It's not chewy?
It's not stuck together.
Oh, it falls apart easy in your mouth?
I'll give this one a 0.
You like it chewy? It's tender. That means it's supposed to be better. It falls apart in your mouth. A 0, huh?
I don't like falls apart. That Andy's terrible.
Okay. All right. Well, that's the honest opinion. Traditional. He wants more of this one. Okay. Okay, I'm trying the first one. Peach. I like that one the best. I tried traditional many times. All right, this is a honey barbecue. I like the peach the best. I think I like it because it's not salty like all the other ones. The traditional one is salty. And you like salty ones, right, Sam? So there you go. If you like the more salty jerky, the traditional type is best. But I kind of get sick of salty jerky all the time. That's why I prefer the sweet, savory type of jerky. But if you've got any jerky recipes, send them my way. Put them in the comments. I will give it a try. Catch you guys later. Thanks.